Hi everyone, I'm Natasha with NP Getaways, and I want to openly share why we're moving all of our 15 properties from InstaBook on Vrbo, especially with the rollout of their new host-initiated cancellation policy. This is for existing and especially new hosts who are thinking about joining Vrbo and using their InstaBook. I've been hosting on Vrbo for 4 years, and as well as on Airbnb and other platforms. Most of my bookings constantly do come from Airbnb. And communication there has always felt smooth, and guests read and respond to messages and important details don't get missed. But on Vrbo, I've had a very different experience. Far too often, guests simply don't read their messages. Not on the platform, not through automated text messages, not even when we follow up repeatedly. We require guests to send us their ID before they get a door code, and we make that clear. Yet we've had people show up late at night, unable to check in just because they ignored all of our messages up until that point. Vrbo's system shares generic reminders, but it doesn't seem to communicate special instructions effectively. I also find their platform, especially on the mobile, is much harder to use than Airbnb. Editing listings, updating property details, and communicating quickly is just cumbersome and slow. Now, with Vrbo's new host-initiated cancellation policies, these problems get riskier for owners. Starting October the 1st, 2025, if a guest cannot access the property and Vrbo cannot reach you quickly, it's considered a host-initiated cancellation. Even if the guests ignore clear instructions, I could be charged up to 100% of the booking amount as a penalty. And there's also tiered penalties. Canceled less than 48 hours before check-in is a 50% of the booking. 48 hours to 30 days is 25% of the booking. And more than 30 days before the check-in is 10% of the booking amount you have to pay. But most concerning, Vrbo hasn't defined what reasonable response time is. It's to their discretion. That means if a guest shows up at 2 a.m. and does not get in, you don't respond immediately, you could lose the entire booking payout and even have the listing suspended. For anyone using InstaBook, this is a huge risk. With InstaBook, booking guests are not pre-screened. You don't know if they'll communicate properly, and this policy shifts all the liability onto the host, even when we do everything far as our listing. My recommendation, if you're just starting with Vrbo, turn off InstaBook. Pre-screen guests. Make sure they're responsive and set clear communication expectations from the start. It's the best way to protect yourself under these new rules.